Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today I have the first look at Morbius and the full Dark Hunter team. Now, I know he has not yet been released, but essentially as a thank you for participating in the Cosmic Crucible playtest, the devs gave us access on the test server to Morbius and to the full team. So, what this means is obviously it's all going to be footage from practice mode. It's going to be footage all with 7 yellow, 4 red characters. So, keep that in mind. It is the test center footage, right? It's not going to be set up exactly the way I might do it. It's not going to be a regular war, that sort of thing. But I'm going to show you some footage that I shot today on the test server. And what I did is I ran the Dark Hunters against all the teams in war practice mode that you might want to see them against. This team is very much designed to counter heroes for hire. So you're going to see Morbius, for example, on spawn. If the character has the full team, Morbius applies blind to the 4 highest damage city hero enemies, which is, of course, on war offense. So this is a direct call out to counter heroes for hire. It does also, do some work against young Avengers. You'll see that as well. He also then here on war offense, if you have the full team, he will be applying trauma, disrupted, and heal block to hero city targets, on war offense if you have the full team. This is basically how this character is key to making this a heroes for hire counter. You have to have the full team. I think a lot of you are going to be investing in this team anyway, even if you didn't want to, because of that horseman thing to get pestilence. But now let's just see, what you're getting for your resources in terms of war offense performance. So, all right, let's go right here. This is the footage that I shot of the fight versus heroes for hire. I did it with Mordo. He's who the team is designed to have as the 5th for now. I'm sure that they will introduce a new 5th later, which, as you can see, is not going to be, it doesn't look like it's going to be a legendary anytime soon, right? There's speculation at the time that a legendary would be the 5th. Pestilence has her own team. So one thing I will say, the ISO setup is not what I would have done. I definitely would never put Raider on Mordo, but I didn't bother changing it. This is just sort of what they had. So you could see right away, first of all, whoops, the team's got all that blind because of Morbius, right? We just saw that in the kit. And you could see that really is what does the work here. This team is basically set up to counter heroes for hire. And so it does that because all this initial damage turns out to be nothing because of the blind. And so then I'm like looking at the kits. I'm like, okay, see, look at that. There you go, right? It does all this stuff, and you say trauma, heal block, and disrupted to the primary target. So you want to aim for Luke Cage, and then it puts trauma and heal block on the rest of the team. Trauma and heal block, that combo basically just rolls the heroes for hire. That's what it does when you have Weapon X. You can see the work that it's doing here. One thing I will say, this is obviously a punch down. The devs, when we did the interview before the patch, said that this was going to be a team that you needed to kind of have as a punch across. I don't know whether that's true or not. I mean, they said a lot of other things that turned out to be not entirely accurate. So we'll see. But I will say what I see here is this team looks like a very, very strong counter for heroes for hire. Just because of the way the team is designed. It is designed to take on heroes for hire. And you could see, I mean, it took down, I took down Shang-Chi very easily. Here I'm going after Colleen next just because I figure she's really important. You could see here now, the bypassing of Death Proof here is so huge. So you see how he just gets rid of the multiple characters there, even though they had Death Proof. And then there you go. It's essentially all over. You can see the heal block from Mordo actually does some good work here because they have the trauma. So he just puts the heal block back, and then that's that. Easy win against heroes for hire. Trivial fight. Okay, very easy fight. All right, so So the question is, how does it do against other teams, right? So let me show you a different story of what this looks like. This is going to be now the Dark Hunters team versus, you can see here, Punch Up. So this is the Dark Hunters are 808K. This is versus a 972 Infinity Watch. The reason that the reason that I was, we had a punch down against Heroes for Hire and we have a punch up against Infinity Watches. I was in a alliance with the other envoys, and it's fair to say that my account was larger. This is actually an account where they just gave me everything with four red stars and 7 yellows. Okay, so because I had them give me a smaller account earlier during the playtest. Okay, so you can see right away, first of all, against Infinity Watch, this team gets hosed right away. They get heal block. You can see all the damage. This team, is very specialized to fight Heroes for Hire, not as strong against a team like Infinity Watch. So here, basically what I was trying to figure out is, okay, all I could do, this team all has evade, so all I can really do is trigger the evades, and then Elsa will shoot them because of her passive. So I do think having a strong Elsa is going to help against teams like this one. You could see that. But so I actually went here to clear the evades. I figured that would probably be a good thing. Clear the evades so we could start doing real damage. Then I'm like, okay, I'll go after File of L. Probably a waste because the debuffs aren't on her because of the immunity. Maybe I should have gone after Nebula first. I don't know. But as you could see, I mean, this match is basically, already kind of out of control for me, right? I've already got 2 members down very quickly. It's just this team is nowhere near the sheer power level of Infinity Watch. Okay, this is it. Okay, so it just gives you a sense of how bad this team is against Infinity Watch. Doesn't look like it works. Obviously, it could be. This will all be different in war conditions when you got all the warp room buffs, but it's pretty bad. So now I will show you my last team, and this was Young Avengers. I thought you might be interested to see how Young Avengers does. So this here, is another. Actually, let me go back here. So this is another punch down. This is 808K Dark Hunters versus 697 Young Avengers. So 100K punch down. And you'll see how this fight goes. It's a little bit different than the other two. It's not quite as bad because you see those. So if you see here, Miss Marvel and Squirrel Girl are city heroes, and they're getting that blind. So that's definitely helpful. But you can see how low health Elsa is. So here I'm basically, you see they all have evades. So once again, I'm basically trying to clear them all so that, or clear a bunch of them so that Elsa can do her thing. I go to the other side, or I actually should have probably gone to the other side there and cleared some more evades. But you can see I'm just going totally after Squirrel Girl, trying to get her down. Figure that ability block would be helpful. All right, so just going hard after Squirrel Girl. And then I'm like, okay, let's stun her. Maybe a mistake. I don't know. But the goal here was purely to just try to do whatever I could to get Squirrel Girl done. You can see now she's taking a turn. Those debuffs have fallen off, and my team is in trouble, right, already. The Young Avengers really ramp well with gear. So here we go. And you could say what it does, because here's the thing. There's some city heroes. So this actually, because you have some city heroes, this team actually does, Dark Hunters actually does fairly well against Young Avengers. Now, as you could probably guess, they're not going to win here, okay? But they're not as bad as you might think. And I will say the Young Avengers, I was pretty unhappy with their initial performance, but they do scale very well with gear. So at the very high levels that I'm seeing them, where they have 7 yellow stars, G15 or G16, they are doing pretty well. And so having a team that could do well against them is helpful. Now, this was a misplay. I forgot that he had blind. Maybe that was useful anyways because it got him cleanses debuffs, but yeah, he gets rolled. So this, this didn't go all that well, but it went a little bit better than than the match versus Infinity Watch. So what do I take from this initial impression? Obviously, this is just a test server. We don't know for sure, but it looks like this team will do well against Heroes for Hire. I would be surprised, given how easy that fight was, if this team does not counter Heroes for Hire, which didn't surprise me because I've always said because of the kid, I figured that would happen. The question is how well they do elsewhere, and I think that is still an open question. It remains to be seen how well they will do against other targets once Heroes for Hire is no longer an important war defense for us to be countering. All right, guys, if you like this video, smash that like button. Subscribe to this channel. If you got comments, questions, cheers, jeers, you can put them below or go to my Discord. That's linked below. You could also go to my Twitch stream. That is linked below, too.